Hey, good morning everyone, hope you can all hear me. I'm sure you can. It's I've managed to position the camera out of the wind at the moment because, I mean, although it doesn't look it at the moment, there's been quite a bit of wind on the lake. I've been trying to do this video all session. I'm coming to the end of a 48-hour session now. The wind has dropped a little bit, so I thought I'd do it like this and I can position the camera behind the bivvy just to keep the wind off a bit. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to just talk to you about the thing that I've got in front of me here. This bait boat I've got in front of me here, it's a bit dirty, so just forgive that. But this is the V80 bait boat from Future Carping. Excuse me. I've been using this a while now. I've probably had this, what should we say, probably, I don't know, since about last August, September kind of time. Used it a fair bit. I was away for a while over the winter, but I've used it quite a lot since I've been back. And I took it to Croatia with me a couple of weeks ago. Used it there, and I've got to be honest, if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't have caught the fish that I caught there. Simple as that. Because the features it's got on it, which I'm going to talk about at the moment, helped me to find the spots where I'm catching the fish from. It was generally one spot that I was getting most of my fish from, and it kind of just kept producing throughout the week, really. And without it, I would have struggled to get there properly. I mean, we did have the rowboat there, but it was just taken so much longer to find the spot that I wanted, because it was so much quicker using the fish or the sonar and everything on this. And yeah, so I mean, we could have gone out in the rowboat, find a prodding stick and all this, but I was fishing at about 250 meters range anyway, which was just incredible. And this little beauty did brilliantly. Right, so I'm just going to talk you through some of the features. So just quickly showing you it now. As I say, it is a bit dirty, so please bear that in mind. Double hull construction, really good for balance. Very good in the choppy water. I've done a couple of little videos previously of it in this choppy water, and I might even link one into this video now. Handles it superbly. I've done one when I was over on a swim over there a few weeks back, and it was out and in, no problem. It just lumps over the waves, no problem. The one thing that might have a bit of an issue with, which it does sometimes, is the sonar effect on it. But all you can do is you can change in the settings and change bits and pieces in the settings to be less surface noise, so that you're not getting all the effect of all the ripples on the water, and it can sort of settle that down a bit, which is great. It helps massively. So the boat itself comes in this massive bag that I'm actually using as a kneeling platform. It's a huge bag, very good. Fits it all in there, fits all your handset in there and everything like that. The boat itself comes in 3 options. You've got your standard, which is just what you see in front of you here, without the fish finder and without the GPS. So you've got it, you can have it with fish finder, you can have it with fish finder and GPS, or you can have it just with GPS. There's different options that you can work out to suit different budgets, and I believe you can actually add those on later if you were to purchase the I'd say the basic boat, but it's not particularly basic. The startup boat, should we say, and then add the other bits on afterwards. So I'd say it's double hull construction. You've got a nice slot in the back of it here for the rear hopper. That's fantastic. I'll explain that in just a moment. You've actually got the 2 main hoppers, which just click in there. They're on magnets. So you've got the one in the middle there, and you've also got one at the back. What you can actually cleverly do is you can separate these hoppers. Sorry, that way around. Separate those hoppers and make them individual. So now that is 2 hoppers then at the back and a big one at the front. And if you wanted to actually separate those as well, I've got another piece there which does go in there. I'm not going to put it in for now, and it separates that middle one. So what you can do is what I've actually done here as well, and what I was doing in Croatia, was if I wanted to just top the bait up on the spot, excuse me, on a couple of spots or even on 3 spots, you can simply put the divider down the middle, for example, put your bait for your first spot on the left hand side, say, your next spot on your right hand side, put it in there, and then your third spot you can put it in the back. You can then send the boat out either just manually yourself or using the GPS to find the spots that you're fishing to. You can send it out there and then you can individually open the hoppers to drop that particular part of bait, which is what I was doing. I was doing that quite a lot because I was using hard hook baits that I knew were going to be lasting. I wanted to just pop a little bit of extra bait on top of it from time to time, so that's what I was doing there, which is a fantastic thing to do. The slot in the back, which I mentioned, okay, so what this is ideal for is if you're a bit like me and you've got the boat closed up and you put all your bait in and then you go, oh, what have I done here, I've not put my rig in. You can quite simply lay your rig on top and then lay your line sort of through this back piece. So you lay your rig in and then your line will just fit straight through that back piece there. Should have had a rod ready to show you, but that demonstrates it perfectly okay. And then when that drops, quite simply, that drops free and then you've not got any issues with that. Interestingly, that little piece that I've got there, just see it there, it's a Wi-Fi fish finder. What this does is if you have got the fish finder version, which I have, this is an extender for your Wi-Fi. I found that the Wi-Fi was working when I was in Croatia on the standard without the extension for about 150 to 160 meters, if I can remember rightly. I needed to go beyond that obviously, so all I did was I just linked up to this responder, this thing instead, as opposed to the main handset. And hello Jerry, Jerry's come say hello. And then that was able to take me probably way beyond the 250 meters, but it was perfectly okay to take me to the 250 meters to get the bait in there properly. So what else do I like about this boat? Well, I love the fact that if I open that one, the batteries can come out independently. I'm not going to take them out properly, but I'll see if I can just one of them out. There we go. There's your batteries. It takes two of those. They are lithium ion batteries, so they're not as heavy as your lead acid batteries, nothing like, and they do last a hell of a long time. So you get two of those, one in that side, one in the other side, and they quite simply just locate into a little recess in there and then just click in and then just plug that in there. You can either, to charge, got the charger there, plug it into the wall, individually put those on there and then on the other side, or you can take the batteries out when you're at home, take the batteries out, charge it from your home thing, or quite cleverly you can take that off, and it does have, a bit tangled up there, does have a piece there that you can just plug straight into the boat there, whack it on charge just so your boat's there. So if you're at one of these places, say that's got electricity by the lake, some places have got that in your swims, some sort of holiday type venues nowadays, you can simply just plug it in and away it goes. That said, I took 2 sets of batteries with me to Croatia and I was using the boat a hell of a lot. I mean a lot. And I was going out 250 meters, as I say, to one of the spots, and it was at least probably twice a day, and obviously if I was catching fish it was more than that. And I probably used, I would say, 1.5 full batteries. So what I did was, once one set of batteries was getting lower, I went and put them on charge, put the other set on. But between the two of them, I didn't run both sets down. The second set was only down to about probably half, maybe 60% after the week, which is incredible really when you think about the battery power and the amount I was actually using it. The lights on it, if I turn the boat on itself, turn the handset on first, just wait a few seconds just to let it get the connection. The lights on it are brilliant. You get white ones at the front, half light, full light, half and full. Rear, blue ones, which is really handy because you can see what direction it's going. Certainly we found when we were fishing out there at 250 meters range, You know, certainly at night it was very difficult to see the boat, couldn't see which way it was going or anything. So having those bright lights on, I found previously, I've said that these lights I think are too bright, but now I've used it in that situation, I don't think they are. I think they're perfect. So on the handset, you can see here it says quantity. It's flickering between 13 and 14 at the moment. That's between 13 and 14 satellites it's picking up. This is RC power. Well, it's just gone 90 to 100%, and it says 88% on the boat. So I've used the boat a fair bit this weekend, and I'm still on 88% power. As you scroll through, you've got things like your GPS, your start point. I've got the start point set up just out here, so it's well away from my lines. And I've got my fish spots 1, 2, 3 that I can quite simply just sync it up to. But once I found my spot with the sonar, find a spot that I want the fish to, or I can save them in there so that next time I come here I can jot them down in the book, quite simply go, right, that's that spot's going out there, and I can get back to exactly the same spot again. Nice little aerials on it. I'd say that some of the features, I love the fact you've got the split hoppers, because you can then send extra bait out all the time, and you can just send it to the spots. The GPS works well. It doesn't work perfectly in that you will literally land on the same square foot every time. It's within a metre or so, and to be honest, that's quite good. But one of the things that I do like to do is I do like to use it with the fish, or the sonar on it, the Godio fish finder on it, so that I can see when I'm going to the spot, like over there where I'm fishing, up to some of these islands that you can maybe see in the background. The water level's a little bit down, so it's quite shallow up to the island, so I want to find the drop off just off it. So with just relying on the GPS, it may drop it just on it or just over it or whatever. So I'm just making sure with the sonar that it is exactly in the right place, and then I can drop it there, which is a great little thing. But I don't mind when I'm sending stuff out to it with the just on its own. If I'm just sending a bit of bait out, it's going to put it in the area, you know, a small enough area like this, like we sat on here. It's near enough to my rig. If I'm fishing a tiny little hole in the weed or something like that somewhere, which I have done previously with this, I will find the exact spot, and I use a fish finder every time, and I'll just drop it bang on, bang on, bang on all the time. I keep calling it fish finder, don't use it as a fish finder, but that's what they call it, the Godio fish finder. It does what it says. I mean, you've got your handset here, slow, fast. You can turn it up and down. Single operation on the control, forwards, backwards, left, right, etc. All independently on the right hand stick. The left hand stick does your hoppers. So if I was to drop that left now, this left hopper would drop left as I'm looking at it. The lights would flash, you notice as it did that. The right hand one's still there, you only heard one thing. So if I push that right now, the right hand hopper drops. So that's where I say you can put that plate down the middle. You can have the two separate bits and send it to two separate parts. If you wanted to, you could do your rigs like that. So if you're fishing on the same sort of area, both very close together, for instance, you could send one out, your left hand rod, to one spot, and then you can move it ever so slightly. You can have your second rig already in it with the bait, and you can drop that on the same spot. Can do that. I haven't done it like that as yet, but I can see it can work, and I see some people do use it. Something else quite interesting that this boat's got, which can't really see it from that side, so if I just carefully just tip it over it, just here it's got a piece and it says bait thrower. Now this here, you can plug in this bait thrower onto there, and this bait thrower, I think it sits on the top there. I've seen it work, and I've not got one myself, I've not used it. But it's like a dome that sits on the top, so you have your bait in the hopper and it brings it up, or your pellets or whatever, which is ideal on somewhere like here that has reared the fish on pellets from a fish farm. You can have the pellets all in your boat, in your hopper, and this big dome thing will just literally spread them out, fire them out around the boat. There's a video out there. I'll see if I can try and put a link in the comments below to a video to show that. But ultimately what it does is just fires it around the area, which and kind of simulate when Nick the owner used to come down here and he used to chuck out pellets like that from the sack in the boat. He's just going out doing that, so it's kind of matching that. So it's kind of a good feature really, and I might actually have to look at investing into one of those. It's got a good sturdy handle on it. The actual boat itself is very, very sturdy, and where you've got the batteries that clip in, things don't fall about. The things you hear there, where they're okay. I say that I've not clipped the battery in properly on this side. I know the other side was. I just heard it clip in, but there you go. That's now clipped in, so I'm quite comfortable that I can pick that up and move it around. So yeah, there you go. That is the V80 bait boat from Future Carping. It's the one of the bigger ones in the range. You've also got there's a V70, V60, V50, and they do the little Intrepid as well. The Intrepid's a fantastic bit of kit. But yeah, they all do their own little things. This is absolutely superb, and it's done me very well. Like I said last week in Croatia, or a couple of weeks ago in Croatia, had fish to 67.5 pounds, several 50s, double taker 50s at one point as well, and the spot size fishing I would have really struggled to get to just by casting, just by using the boat, and it would have been a lot of faff. So this little beauty has helped me out no end. Jerry wants to get in the shot again. This is Jerry, my carp dog. He's 14 now, bless him. I know, mate. He's been fishing with me pretty much all his life. Loves it. He wants to get in on the act at the moment. So that's it, the V80 from Future Carping.